So I hosted a Q&A on my Discord server, and here are all the questions. Mr. Nathan asks, what is your opinion on Minecraft spin-offs, story mode, dungeons, and the new Legends game coming out next year? I don't really know too much about the spin-off games. I never really got any of them, but honestly I kind of think they're just cash grabs mainly, because it seems like people talk about them a lot until like after they release, then there's like some attention, and then it seems like after a week they're just like nobody cares about them anymore, and that just gives me the impression that like they're probably just made as a cash grab. I don't know, that may be too harsh. I haven't really done too much. I'm not that knowledgeable about those games, so I'm just not really qualified to give a good opinion on them, I think. He also asked, what is your opinion on Forza games? They look good. They have a really interesting selection of cars that you don't really get in any other games, and that's pretty cool. It's a shame that they're only on Xbox, and I have never owned an Xbox in my life. Pebbles Pebbles asks, pineapple pizza. No. Mars asks, opinion on cancel culture. I'm not really a fan of it. It's like there's some people that deserve to be canceled, like say R. Kelly maybe, who had all of his stuff going on. But then there's a lot of other people where it's like cancel culture just tries to like specifically tries to erase them off the internet just because they made one mistake 4 years ago. Cancel culture is like the definition of like not knowing that, people change. People's opinions change over time. Just because they said something 4 years ago doesn't mean that they still mean it today. So yeah, I don't really like them. Opinion on the furry community. Honestly, like, as long as you're not hurting anyone, I don't really care. Now, where I draw the line is zoophiles. That's just not right at all. Pebbles asks, opinion on me. You're pretty cool. Mr. Nathan asks, opinion on modern cars. There's like some modern cars that are new, like the new Dodge Durango is actually one of my favorite modern cars. It's pretty cool for a modern SUV. But it seems like as time goes on, cars just seem to get worse and worse. So yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of modern cars. Mr. Nathan also asks, opinion on old cars. Old cars are really cool. Like, give me any car from the 70s or older, and I guarantee you I probably like it. They're just, I don't know, there's just something about them. They're just so much better than newer cars, except for the fact that probably can't daily drive them because of like gas mileage and insurance reasons. But yeah. He also asks, opinion on electric cars. See, I live in rural America where there's like zero electric charging ports out here. So it'd be very impractical to have an electric car out here. So I'm not really the biggest fan of them. But yeah, I don't really know too much about electric cars, so I'm not really too qualified to give a good opinion on those. He also asks opinions on diesel. I like that diesel engines and diesel vehicles will just run forever, it seems. Plus, even though diesel is more expensive than gas, some like diesel cars, like like the TDI Volkswagens, they get insane gas mileage. That's pretty cool. He also asks favorite mod in Minecraft. I've never really, I never really gotten any mods in Minecraft because for the longest time I've only played console edition, which doesn't have any mods. I've now gotten Bedrock edition, so it has some mods, but I haven't downloaded any yet. But I've been looking at this one mod that's like where you can like morph into mobs, basically like a morph mod. And I've been looking at that because it may be interesting for like a Minecraft hardcore series, like say Minecraft hardcore, but I play as a squid or something like that. Might be entertaining. Zeno asks, favorite house in Minecraft? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I take it I'm just interpreting it as favorite house that I've ever built in Minecraft, and that was like this huge uh like suburban mansion that I built in one of my brother's worlds. It was about like 100 blocks wide, 30 blocks thick. It was like 4 stories. It was insane. It took me about like half a year to build the exterior, and I've never got around to finishing the interior. But yeah, it was probably my favorite. I'm probably gonna have a picture up, and it was one of the pictures I took whenever it wasn't completely finished. But yeah, it's probably my favorite house I've ever built in Minecraft. Mr. Nathan asks, what is your favorite mob in Minecraft? I have a lot of favorite mobs. Used to be, it'd probably be like, well, I mean, I never really had too many like a specific favorite mob. More recently, I really like pandas. Just the way they just have so much character, and like some are like really excited and they're really happy, and like the way they sit, and like they sit on their like they sit up straight and they eat their bamboo. I just really like those. I just really like the pandas. I also like llamas. They're they're pretty funny looking, and they're also practical to use like if you're on the move and you need some extra storage. So yeah, one of those two. I'd say my favorite mob is probably the panda. He also asks opinion on Rust. I'm taking you mean the game, and I don't really know. It looks just like what I'm gathering from what I've seen is that it's like a survival shooter sort of thing, like an online survival shooter. And yeah, I don't really know because I haven't really heard too much about it, except some of my friends play it. He also asks opinion on Bethesda games. I can't even remember what games Bethesda made. I don't know if I've ever really played one, so yeah, I'm gonna look up what games there are from Bethesda. Can't even pronounce it. So I just looked it up, and it looks like Bethesda is the makers of like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, and those are pretty cool. I've considered getting some of those before, but I never really got around to it, or I just never got them. So I'd say decently positive opinion of them without really having ever played any of their games. Okay, Mr. Nathan also asks opinion on waffles versus pancakes. I I seriously don't know like what my favorite would be out of the two. Both of them are just so good. He also asks burgers versus pizza. Burgers all the way. I love burgers. I don't know. I don't really know why. They're just one of my favorite foods, definitely. He also asks future plans for the channel. Get famous. He also asks opinions on current version of Minecraft. I like I like a lot of the stuff that they've added since I started playing. I started playing back in 1.12. It was Christmas of 2017 whenever I got the game. And I like a lot of the stuff that they've done. I'd say if I could change one thing, it would be seems like all of the passive mobs in the game right now are real life animals, and I would like it if we had some more passive mobs that like weren't real life animals, because Minecraft's a fantasy game, so it should have more fantasy creatures besides the ones that want to kill you. yeah, other than that, I don't really think there's anything else too big that I have complaints about. I really can't think if there's anything else. Yeah. Current Minecraft version, pretty good, I'd say. Zeno asks, Zeno asked, why did you start a channel? I think I started a channel just because it looked fun, and my brother made a, he used to make some videos before I got into it, or before I got into making videos, but he like, I'm pretty sure he deleted all those except like one that he made that was later on. So I guess I just started it because my brother was also doing it and it just looked fun. Mr. Nathan asked, "What would you do if you had lots of money?" I think I'd probably set aside enough to where I would like be able to comfortably live for the rest of my life just off that. And then I'd probably give away the rest of it to like my friends, my family, and charity and stuff like that. Zeno says, "Kiss me." Mr. Nathans asks, opinion on European car manufacturers. Um, Volkswagen and Porsche, two of my top three favorite car brands ever. They're European, they're German. So I'd say just those two being from Europe bump up the rating a lot. Let me think. Ferrari, they're from Italy, and like classic Ferraris are like some of the coolest cars ever. Lamborghini is also from Italy, and they're pretty cool. Pagani, I'd honestly call Pagani underrated because it seems like the big hypercar manufacturers, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Koenigsegg, however you pronounce it, seems like they get all the attention, but I never really hear too many people talking about like Pagani in general. I mean, they're still a really popular brand, but I feel like they kind of deserve a little more recognition because their cars are really cool. Um, Other than that, I mean, you have like some other ones like Volvo and MG that are cool, but I don't really think there's any European car brands that I really like hate or anything. There's some that are very mediocre, like Peugeot. Peugeot's kind of just like, it's kind of just there. Yeah, European car manufacturers, pretty cool, I'd say. And that is the last Q&A question. Thank you all for asking. Thank you all for asking questions. And thanks to everyone for helping me reach 75 subs. Hopefully we can hit many more milestones in the future.